We got a lot to cover. Oh, man, do we have a lot to cover. Today is a big day. And today is a big day. No doubt about that. All right, stand by. Will be live in less than 30 seconds. Of course, I'm going to talk about the white dudes for Trump, the white ladies for Trump, all this, or I'm sorry, for Kamala, white dudes for Kamala, white ladies for Kamala. But we got a lot of other things to discuss too, which I'll explain when we are live. Here we go. 8, 7, 5, 2, 1.
On the air since 1977,
I was off by a second.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Alrighty, welcome. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show. Indeed you are. The Steve Kane Show on the radio since 1977. We have a lot to cover today. And I'm going to do something a little different today that I feel called upon to do, which I'll explain in a moment. I am going to go through this bizarre, racially segregated online events that Kamala Harris has been organizing. White ladies for Kamala, white dudes for Kamala. We're going to get to that in a few minutes. The Democrats bringing racial segregation back, and it is sick, it is twisted, it is weird, it is inappropriate, it is offensive, and I'll go through all of that as the show goes on. But I'm going to do something today on the show, and I want to explain this to you and why I am doing it. There is no such thing as a Kamala Harris surge. I know that the media are telling you that this race is a dead heat, that they're tied, that there's been this big Kamala surge. That is not true. Now, I went over yesterday the battleground polls, and a listener left me a message. They said, Brian, you need to be more honest about the polls. This race is tied and all this stuff. I'm going to go through each hour on the program, at the top of each hour, all of the polls. I'm going to go through all of the national polls. I'm going to go through all of the battleground state polls and the Electoral College outcome if the election were held today based on these polls. And that's not something I would normally do, but I feel duty-bound to do it because the media, Fox News, are committing journalistic malpractice. The media are giving you false polling data. Fox News got back to being a real news organization, and now for a couple of weeks, I guess they felt guilty that Trump got shot, or maybe they were sucking up for something at the Republican convention, but they've gone full-core, hardcore, never Trumper again, and they're sharing very misleading information. Now, I'm going to start going over them right now. Before I do, you can fact-check me in real time with everything I'm about to share with you. Go to realclearpolitics.com. They have all the polls there. The polls that I am going to go over, I'm going to start with the national polls. The polls I am going to go over are all right there at realclearpolitics.com. You can check it out. These are the most up-to-date polls as of this morning. And obviously Donald Trump is ahead everywhere, okay? This lie that they're promoting of this Kamala surge is just that, a lie. Now, I'll also say that if Trump were not ahead in these polls, I would still be sharing them with you, and I would be working to mobilize, make sure that we get our turnout, which we still need to do. We need to swamp them at the polls, as President Trump has said in every single speech that he's given. But he's ahead everywhere. Now, I want to start with the national polls. Now, the national polls are not all that important. It's the battleground state polls, which I'll do second. The national polls, it includes all the Democrat states where they have the large urban centers, right? Illinois, California, Oregon, New York State, all the blue states with the big blue urban centers. So the national polls, based on that, lean to the left. But we have the electoral college system, which cancels that out. But even with that, okay, and you go to Real Clear Politics, and you can see everything that I am going to share with you, okay? And you verify and fact check me in real time, and if I am wrong about something from what I'm sharing, you call me on the air, call me out on it, and we'll go over it. There are 15 national polls. 15. Out of the 15 national polls, that's a lot. That's all of them. That's all the major national polls. Out of the 15 national polls, President Trump is leading in 12 of the 15 national polls. That's amazing. 15 national polls. President Trump is leading in 12 of the 15 national polls. Kamala is leading in 3. The Reuters poll, the Morning Consult, and the ABC News Trump-hating Washington Post poll. The 3 out of the 15 polls that Kamala's leading in are of registered voters, not likely voters, all of them, and her lead is just by the margin of error, okay? And these are the polls: the Wall Street Journal poll, the Forbes poll, the New York Times Siena, Rasmussen, Morning Consult, CNN, Reuters, the NPR PBS poll, Quinnipiac, Yahoo News, CBS News, Fox News, NBC News, Emerson, and the ABC News Washington Post poll. Those are the 15 national polls. Donald Trump is leading in 12 of those 15 polls. That's amazing. You wouldn't know that by watching the corporate media. So now let's go to the battleground states. These are the battleground states: Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. These are the battleground states. This is where the election is decided, in the battleground states. The rest of the country is already decided for the most part. There's a couple places where there's some hope, New Jersey, But there are 7 battleground states. Those are the toss-up states, okay? Let's go through them one by one. And these are all up to date as of this morning, Trump versus Harris. In Arizona, there are 3. Some of the battleground states have more polls than others, okay? There are 3 polls in Arizona. Trump is ahead in all 3 of them. And the Real Clear Politics average gives Donald Trump, Arizona, against Kamala, the win by 6.4 as of today. Battleground state number 2 is Nevada. By the way, I saw a poll where Kerry Lake is up 11 in Arizona right now. Nevada has 3 polls. The New York Times Siena, the Hill Emerson, and the Insider Advantage. Trump is ahead in all 3 polls. The New York Times poll, Trump leads in Nevada by 8. The Hill Emerson, Trump leads by 9. In the Insider Advantage poll, Trump leads by 10. All right? Against Kamala Harris. The next battleground state is Wisconsin. There are 4 polls out of Wisconsin. Trump is leading in 3 of the polls, and there's a tie in 1. So out of 4 polls, Trump's leading in 3, and there's a tie with 1. So Trump is ahead in Wisconsin. Michigan. This is a big one. There are 3 polls in Michigan. Trump leads in 2, and there's a tie in 1. And by the way, these are registered voter polls which lean to the left. Trump is ahead in 2. They're tied in 1, giving Trump Michigan against Kamala Harris. The one they're tied in is the Fox News poll. Pennsylvania. There are 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 polls out of Pennsylvania. Out of the 6 polls, Trump leads in 5 of the 6 polls. There's a tie in 1, which is the Fox News poll. Paul Ryan must be filling in those. But out of the 6 polls out of Pennsylvania, Trump leads in 5 of them and is tied with Kamala in 1. Pennsylvania going to Trump by 3 points in the latest polls. Okay, North Carolina, the 6th battleground state, there's only 1 poll with Trump leading by 9. It's from The Hill. Georgia, the 7th battleground state. There are 4 polls in Georgia. Trump is leading in all 4 polls out of Georgia, giving him a lead of 4.5 in Georgia against Kamala Harris. The Real Clear Politics polling also gives us the Electoral College based on the most recent polling. So Trump is ahead in 12 of the 15 national polls and is ahead in each battleground state, according to the latest polls. They're all at Real Clear Politics. You can go there yourself, look them up. If I misrepresented, call me live on the air. The calls are screenless, and we'll go over it together on the air. You need 270 Electoral College votes to win the presidency. According to the latest polling data, Trump is projected at 312 Electoral College votes, Kamala at 226. Now, if she picks this corrupt weirdo, the governor of Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania's only 19 Electoral College votes. Trump still wins if he lost Pennsylvania, if that governor's as popular as they say. So this idea that there's a Kamala surge is a complete lie. The Real Clear Politics polling, they put together all the polls, regardless of who they're from. They put them together, and they come up with the Real Clear Politics average. There's no bias in that. That's it. And I feel like I should do this at the top of every hour today. Do you guys agree with this? If you're a Democrat, you probably don't. But those of you that are MAGA on the Trump train, do you think I should do this at the top of each hour today? I know it takes a few minutes. And I'm not really into polls. And, it's kind of early in the morning for numbers. I'm behind on my coffee. I don't know. But I think it's important to counter the lies that are coming from Fox News and the rest of the media. I want to hear your thoughts on this. I'm going to get into some other issues after the break. But I am going to go over these polls every hour, all 3 hours of today's broadcast. Our number's toll free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Back after this. Mike, you going to send me the weather? Oh, you haven't done it yet? Do you guys think I should, tell me yes or no, should I go over those numbers at the top of every hour? Yeah. I mean, you could go there. That's what they are. This is not spin. It's not wishful thinking. This is what they are. The Kamala surge is a complete lie. And you notice these polls where they're tied, it's Fox News. You sinned yesterday by smoking. We are all sinners. Mangala Raj, we're all sinners. Okay. We'll be back shortly. Trumplicans, that's right. And I'd like to hear from you guys on the phones, too. Call me on the air about this. I'd like to hear all of your thoughts. Oh, Jack says it's boring. That must be a Kamala. Dude for Kamala.
Kids eat free on Tuesdays. You can't beat this breakfast. Skillets is proof. You don't need to be at home for a beef from scratch meal and to be treated like family. Skillets guests rave as Palm Beach's friendliest staff and best breakfast. Come find out for yourself. Get more information on your local Skillets at skilletsrestaurants.com.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to ask you a question. How important is a good night's sleep, and when was the last time you got one? I get one each and every night with the MyPillow mattress topper. They're 50% off now with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at mypillow.com. Hear it with new pillows and those fabulous Giza Dream Sheets. There's huge discounts on those too. Free shipping on all orders over $75 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. You'll thank me in the morning.
Steve Kane Show. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, coming up on 22 minutes after the hour, it is Tuesday, July 30th. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. Yeah, I am going to do those polls at the top of every hour. Somebody in the media have to report what's going on. All right, let's take a call or two before I get into some new things. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air.
Okay. Sorry about that. I couldn't hear anything. It's Lisa in Tennessee. And
Hey, Lisa.
yeah, these polls that you're talking about, some of them are just ridiculous. I had just cruised on Fox just a little bit yesterday, and Brett Baer, who is such a traitor, and he was talking about Kamala being ahead, and I think in Minnesota, one of them, and it's just such a lie.
Well, if you were Brett Baer and you just bought a house for $35 million in Palm Beach, you'd say whatever Paul Ryan told you to. You got a big monthly expense. You know, it is the polls that I went over all of them. And even if you look, okay, let me pull up the, President Trump is leading in 12 of the 15 national polls. He's leading in every battleground state poll. And even in the Fox News poll, which is of registered voters, which is left-leaning, he's even ahead in the Fox News poll.
Yeah. And in fact, my niece just sent me something about Trump, and she's slowly getting swayed to vote for Trump. She's actually never voted before, and I think she's going to go ahead and vote for Trump. And even another friend of mine that's on the other end of the spectrum from me normally she's like, I can't vote for Biden. I've got to vote for Trump because the country And she moved down here from Canada 2 years ago, and she's watched it disintegrate just in 2 years.
Yeah.
You know.
President Trump did an interview last night. He was interviewed by Laura Ingraham, and he made a good point. What is the age that you can collect Social Security? The youngest, is it 62? Yeah. Did you? And I had not thought about this. And President Trump, who's always an outside the box thinker, the Democrats are all in. We need somebody young. We need the youth, right? Kamala Harris is 2 years away from Social Security age. She's 60 years old. I know, people that are not white don't age as fast physically looking as crackers do, but she's 2 years away from Social Security age. She's a 60-year-old lady. She's not some young hipster, She's now I'm not saying 60's old, because I'm 53, right? So 60 ain't what it used to be. I mean, I can remember when my grandmother was my age, right? So even younger than I am today. But she's a 60-year-old lady who's 2 years away from Social Security age. So this idea that she's some youngin', I don't know where this came from.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because they're out there, their minds, these people are so completely brainwashed, and it's sad to see, and some of my family, sadly, is completely and totally brainwashed by the left, and it's hard to get through to them because their minds are completely closed off, just like in a cult. I mean, it is just...
Well, the thing is... these polls I went over, I shared with you every single poll in the nation, okay? Every single one of the credible national polls that are cited, they're all listed at Real Clear Politics. President Trump is ahead in 12 of the 15 national polls. He's leading in every single battleground state, including Pennsylvania. This idea, everything about Kamala is, she must have the tightest girdles in existence on. If she took the girdles off, she'd look like, I don't know what she'd look like. But yeah, probably like Hillary. Yeah, she probably is cackling so much because she's cackling for air. She can't breathe with all the girdles, she's got. But the thing, you'd be cackling too if you were wearing girdles like that. But President Trump is leading in every battleground state. He's ahead in 12 of the 15 national polls. That's spectacular. Everything about that we're hearing about Kamala is a lie. And this is not spin or propaganda. I challenge any Democrat in this audience to go to Real Clear Politics and correct me.
Right. Well, that's it. And as far as our registered legal voters, yes. And the thing that Paxton brought up from Texas the other day is trying to find all of these in.
Well, don't worry about all that negative stuff. There's nothing we can do about that. We can only control what we have control over, and that is reporting the truth and having the most massive turnout that we possibly can have. As soon as early voting starts in Florida, I'm voting early. President Trump is encouraging, so is Laura Trump, encouraging everyone to vote early. And don't forget, Laura Trump has organized the largest Republican poll watching brigade ever in history. So don't worry about that. All right, I appreciate the call, Lisa in Tennessee. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour, and then I'm going to get into some other stories. But you're welcome to call in about the polls. I am going to go over them again at the top of the next hour, and then at the 8 o'clock hour. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Ryan Levin here from the all-year cooling weather center. Scattered thunderstorms are starting to roll into parts of South Florida and are expected
Wow.
to continue on through the evening hours. For tonight, those
Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check.
Good morning.
Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Rest of your Tuesday. Day morning.
Tuesday.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the poker room at PBKC. Open daily for cash games, high hands, mega bad big jackpots, and
Monday.
exciting tournaments like the $100,000 guaranteed Monster Multi-Flight Tournament, August 8th through 11th. Visit our newly expanded table game area with Ultimate Texas Hold'em and three-card poker with just a $5 minimum. PBKC is your entertainment destination. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Did you know the Volin Center offers free transportation? Catching a ride with the Volin Center coach has never been easier. The Volin Center has been providing rides for seniors age 60 and over since 1968. Available to all clients
There you go.
and the public. Pick you up or take you home.
The biggest problem is finding it on my. I have so much on my desktop.
And free rides to doctor.
It's hard. Yeah.
Center. Together we make community happen. Learn more at volincenter.com.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over that top of every hour. Screw it. I don't care. I don't like to do the same story every hour, but I'm gonna do that at the top of every hour. Screw it. It's got to be done.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you're looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love authentic New England seafood, brought in fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster.
Make sure you guys like the video and please share it as well.
Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep
No, that number's good.
Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza.
The numbers are that good. I mean, that's
Now open 7 days a week.
those are the numbers.
Or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
This is John from Lighthouse Medical Center, CFO and Director of Neuropathy. We want to welcome you to Lighthouse Medical Center this year. It's our 75th anniversary, and we've been able to help a lot of patients. We want to be able to help you with your neuropathy issues as well.
Well,
Numbness.
Drew Barrymore is a Hollywood leftist who's got a lot of damage from doing
Please come see us.
drugs and alcohol at 9 years old.
Help out there for you. We've had thousands
You know?
of patients come through Lighthouse Medical Center.
She's.
Being able to
I'm a
see
fan of Drew Barrymore's, but she's a neglected, abused child.
blessing to us and a blessing to
And now, as a woman, she's just damaged.
for the next 75
She's
years.
dying to have a strong mother figure in her life.
Medical Center, we have a specialized knee pain program with non-surgical solutions for bone-on-bone and knee pain issues. We also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
The Greater South Florida Chamber of Commerce Senior Lifestyle Expo and Health Fair is coming up Wednesday, July 31st at Discovery Village at Stewart. Dozens of vendors will be on hand with plenty of fun, food, and giveaways. Learn more at GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
Here we go.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years.
All right, 33 minutes after the hour. Number 1-888-465-2631. I'll take a couple calls before I bring up anything new, but I am going to go over all the polls at the top of every hour today. I don't like to do the same story like that every hour, but I got to do it. What's going on in the media is disgusting. Disgusting. Lenny Riefenstahl's producing our news in this country. If you don't know what that means, look up Lenny Riefenstahl and you'll get it. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brother Brian. It's Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
You know, we've never taken polls seriously because they're usually so slanted, but I believe they're still slanted because I believe they're much higher than they're reporting. I do believe that he's leading in every.
Well, as opposed to, I want to stick with what we have, because they're promoting that she's up in the polls and there's a surge. Trump is ahead in every battleground state, everyone, all 7 of them, and he's ahead in 12 of the 15 national polls with their biased left-wing Trump-hating polls. He's ahead in 12 of the 15 national polls. So, I'd rather stick with what we know, because they can't debate this.
That's right. I agree with that. But the battleground states says it all. He's leading in every one. And if he won 6 out of the 7 battlegrounds, it's over. But I believe he's going to win all of those battleground states. People are waking up, even Democrats, to this horror show that we put up for 4 years, and that Kamala Harris is a joke. She shouldn't have been vice president, let alone.
Did you realize that Kamala Harris is just 2 years away from Social Security retirement age? I didn't realize it didn't even occur to me.
Me neither, and I didn't know she was my age. So
yeah, I mean, she's a senior citizen, and they're acting like she's like some youngin', like she's some like AOC, like she's a millennial. She's 2 years away from Social Security retirement.
Did she? I heard she went to Jamaica and she didn't even visit her family. Isn't that kind of telling of what she said about her family?
Yeah, who knows?
She lies just like Biden. She's not. They and all of these Democrats have one thing in common: they hate God and they hate the Bible. They are so full of hate, and MAGA is so pro-God, family, and country. We're positive. We want to unite the country, not divide it. But they try to, Sal Alinsky, accuse your enemy of everything that you're doing wrong.
Yeah, J.D. Vance is 39 years old, and Kamala's running around trying to pass herself off as like 40. She's a 60-year-old lady, 2 years away from Social Security retirement age. And we need youngins. We need the young guy they're attacking, and the senior citizen, Kamala, they're promoting.
And, J.D. Vance could debate Kamala instead of Trump and still throttle her. I don't believe in any sketch of any way that Kamala can debate Trump. I don't care how they slant it or get who they get. There's no way she could get it.
He's going to debate her, but why should he debate her before she has the nomination? Here she hasn't gotten one vote. They just disenfranchised millions of people in the primary process, and he's just supposed to debate random people. He'll debate her after she gets the nomination in a couple weeks.
Correct, and that's in the middle of August.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 weeks away.
And guess what? When that happens, you're going to see a fiasco that happened in Chicago, and I forget the year. Remember when they had a blow-up at the DNC?
And was it 68? I think it was 68. Could have been 72. Could have been 72. I don't know. I don't remember him.
It's one of the two, Brian, but you're right. And it's going to be a disaster for them because they're going to be so divided. They're not going to unite behind her. There's going to be so many people against her.
Mm-hmm. All right, I appreciate the call, Jeff. Good points. Thanks so much. Jeff from Maine, always good. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, Richie. By the way, did you realize that Kamala Harris is a 60-year-old lady 2 years away from Social Security?
I know she's also a 60-year-old racist. I know that, too.
That's true.
I know that she's running a campaign on racism. It's so obvious. She's running around to every black thing that she could find because she's so concerned.
All of a sudden, she's black. It's like O.J. wasn't black until he killed 2 white people. Then he got all Afrocentric.
If you remember when Obama ran, he tried to run away from the racist.
Yeah, Barry. So what? Now you heard me go through all these polls. Trump is ahead in 12 of the 15 national polls and ahead in every battleground state, according to the latest polls a week and a half after Kamala jumped into the race.
I appreciate what you're doing, but I'm going to give you the way I feel about it, okay? And I know that the media with these polls are trying to sway people's attitudes and mentally to where you are election day. I'm going to bring it to a football season that's coming up, the NFL, okay? You have all these teams, and everybody thinks they're going to win the championship because, and this is the poll, everyone thinks they're going to win the championship because everybody is 0-0 until you start to look at the roster. When you start seeing Kamala Harris, it's the rah-rah right now. We got a great chance. We're 0-0. We might win and go to the Super Bowl. But when you look at the substance of Kamala Harris, when you start to see she's a total communist, and you start to see what she wants to do and her policies, it's going to turn so many people off. The realization is going to hit, and that.
Well, okay. Now what you're saying is true. Let me just get a little deeper into this because right now most people are not following. Most people don't follow news and politics. They're like me with sports. But after the convention, people will start following the news and politics. The closer to the election, more and more people will that never do. It's like you go to church, it's empty, but on Easter you can't find a seat, right? So what's the polls now, where Trump is ahead everywhere, when everyone starts following news and politics that don't, in about a month, he's even going to be further ahead. Yeah.
She's going to drop so bad because I got to be honest with you, when you start to see what she's for, it's going to scare the hell out of people. I feel so bad. Let me tell you, I feel so bad for Sean Hannity, Jesse Waters, and Greg Gutfeld because they know the truth. And they're carrying the party line because, they got alimony, they got mansions, and they got, you know what I mean? They can't do what I'm doing. Fox News is lying to you. Get the truth out of television. You can't. They're making her look like Superwoman. I mean, Wonder Woman. You got to realize she's garbage, man. I'm serious. Hard as a tack. She is she's the worst candidate they could possibly put up, but they're all running around her saying she's God's gift, only because they know they got a losing thing there. They're trying to save the Senate and the Congress, but they're not going to be able to save anything because, like I told you, after this convention is over, she's going to get a bump. Everyone's rah-rah, all these mainstream media and The View and all this crap. And when people start to see what she's really all about.
Yes. No, you're right. All right, I appreciate the call, Richie. Richie is right on the money. Okay, now I want to get into the white dudes for Trump, but first we got to talk about the white dudes for Kamala. Can you believe this? If I organized a Zoom meeting, white dudes for Trump, what do you think they would say? White dudes for Trump, white nationalist, white supremacist, but white dudes for Kamala, that's okay. But we first got to start with the white women for Kamala. And that lunatic cat lady influencer that organized it, the media are playing you a clip of the introduction, but they're only playing the first part of it. I'm going to play the whole thing. This is insane. This is this crazy white woman who calls herself Mrs. Frazzled, and she's some big online influencer. She has an anti-gun group, and she's got a lot of followers there, And she organized this white women for Kamala that they say had 160,000 in attendance in the Zoom meeting. I've been in Zoom meetings, and I try to organize it with 10 people, and it's not working, But anyway, this is her introduction to the white women for Kamala. And you've heard the first part. Well, unless you listen to my podcast, because on my podcast I played the whole thing. But listen to this. I'm going to play the whole thing. This is insane. Okay, this is Mrs. Frazzled, who organized the White Women for Kamala Zoom meeting. And this is her introduction and instructions to the white women that are there.
Don't isolate yourself. We can do our best work when we're in community together like we are tonight, because the toxic feels smaller when we support each other. But don't make it about yourself. As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals...
Okay, now BIPOC individuals, what is the N, the I stand for? Is that Indian? I don't know, BIPOC, black, Indigenous. It must be indigenous. They would not dare say Indian. So it's got to be black, indigenous, and then the rest, the POC is people of color. Okay? BIPOC, it's an acronym. Black, indigenous, people of color. Okay? So this is the white woman organizer, Mrs. Frazzled. Her poor husband. Oh my goodness. And her poor cat, too.
Don't isolate yourself. We can do our best work when we're in community together like we are tonight, because the toxic feels smaller when we support each other. But don't make it about yourself. As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them.
Oh my goodness, God forbid you correct a person of color. God forbid. And she puts her hands up and waves them. Now I know why Jay from Jersey and Renee from Harlem get upset. White people aren't supposed to disagree, interrupt, or have discussions. We're just supposed to shut up and dribble and say yezamazza. Right? Let me wind it. This is nuts.
We can do our best work when we're in community together like we are tonight, because the toxic feels smaller when we support each other. But don't make it about yourself. As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them, just take a beat. And instead, we can put our listening ears on. So do learn from and amplify the voices of those who have been historically marginalized, and use the privilege you have in order to push for systemic change. As white people, we have a lot to learn and unlearn. So do check your blind spots. You are responsible for your algorithm, believe it or not. Intentionally seek out.
Oh, wow. You're responsible for your algorithm. Is this how these millennials are talking? You're responsible for your algorithm? What is this, the world of Tron we're in? We're like computer people?
Share content from BIPOC creators, activists, thought leaders. They should be the leaders of conversations about race and justice.
Wow. Black people, people of color, should be the voice of equity, the voice of everything. White people, shut up and dribble. And God forbid, don't interrupt.
You are responsible for your algorithm, believe it or not. Intentionally seek out and share content from BIPOC creators, activists, thought leaders. They should be the leaders of conversations about race and justice and equity. So just whatever you do, don't stay silent on the issues of injustice. Big changes can start with just one person who's brave enough to speak up.
But don't interrupt BIPOC individuals. God forbid you do that. And don't correct BIPOC individuals. I wonder what happens if you do. What would happen if, let me tell you what she's saying here. There's a couple things, and then we'll break. She's saying white people don't get too uppity, right? She's telling us not to be too uppity. That's one thing. But she's also a racist. The way she's talking is like the daughter of a plantation owner in Georgia or Louisiana in the 1850s who's decided that she wants to teach some of the slave kids how to read, but she's still a slave master. This woman is a racist, and she treats and thinks of black people as children, which is how the Democrat slave masters thought of black people, that they were children. This is pretty scary stuff. We'll take our break. When we get back, I'll get into the white dudes for Kamala from last night. I'm Brian. Don't go anywhere.
The Cold Hard Truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
Well, I treated the knee pain with laser. Treatment is simple and no side effects. Robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect
Same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio.
South Florida, are you ready to be a part of history? Fort Lauderdale United FC is bringing women's professional soccer here.
Yes, we're all responsible for our algorithm.
Visit FTLUTD.com.
And now a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales. Save 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing, and we even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or CutMyKilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks, easier than ordering a pizza.
Do you have questions about retirement? Hi, it's Kathy Green, co-host of the Jupiter Joe Money Show. Tune in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 7:30 a.m. to the Jupiter Joe Money Show, where we answer all kinds of questions about retirement right here on your True Oldies channel.
Here we go.
Have you put off buying new
Oh, no,
tires
after
because you
this,
thought
one
they were
more.
too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is up.
All right, 51 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show. We're back. Okay, so yesterday morning when I got off the air, I heard about this White Dudes for Kamala, and I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like an online parody, like Babylon Bee or something, because I really did. Because we had the White Women for Kamala with that lunatic I just played, But it was true. I saw David Hogg on television talking about it. I'm like, oh my goodness. And they did it last night, and it was filled with a lot of Hollywood actors. And I'm going to play some of the clips. I'm going to start with Josh Gad. And Josh Gad, he's a hometown guy. He is from Hollywood, Florida, in Broward County, and he's a graduate of Nova Southeastern University in Davie. So he's a hometown boy, Josh Gad, and he's the voice in Frozen and stuff. And the last time I went to Walt Disney World with my daughter, a cast member that works at Walt Disney World is a listener, and they recognized me. And I was with my daughter, and they helped me out and got me to the front of the line and all this stuff. And I was getting on a ride, and I'm getting this red carpet treatment. And the guy said, "This guy's he's famous, me." And the guy that was letting me on the ride, he says, whatever his name is, says, "Who are you?" And I don't know why I said this. I said, "I'm Josh Gad's stunt double." And he says, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Wow, that's cool." I don't know why I said that. And my daughter said, "Why'd you say that, Dad?" I said, "I don't know." But I could have picked somebody better to compare myself to, because I'm certainly not this guy's double. But anyway, Josh Gad, he was part of the White Dudes for Kamala. And what this is about, this White Dudes for Kamala, you know what it's about? It's they think that white MAGA people are racist, white supremacist, Klansmen, and all this stuff. Of course, none of it's true. And the White Dudes for Trump, the White Dudes for Kamala, I keep saying for Trump, the White Dudes for Kamala, Josh Gad, Mark Hamill, Jeff Bridges. I mean, my goodness, Jeff Bridges. I just made that Tron reference, and Tron, he's not Tron. He created Tron. But Jeff Bridges from Tron is a part of this crap. And my childhood hero, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, he's a part of this. You know who he looks like? A drunk old lady, Mark Hamill. He looks like Charles Nelson Riley. But anyway, Josh, the white dudes for Kamala, what it's about is this. They think that all white people that support Trump and vote Republican, white men in particular, are racist, Klansmen, white supremacists, white nationalist Nazis. So what Josh Gad, Mark Hamill, Jeff Bridges, David Hogg, and all the rest are trying to tell us is that it's okay to be white and vote for someone who's not. That's what they're saying. It's crazy. They're out of their mind. Okay, so let's hear from Josh Gad. Hold on, I don't know what that was playing. I got something else playing there in the background. Hold on a second here. Oh, I still have the cat lady from the other one playing. Okay, here's Josh Gad.
Also, quick observation, they have Kid Rock, Kevin Sorbo, and a dolphin aficionado, and we have the Hulk, Samwise Gamgee, Luke Skywalker, and Mayor Pete, just on this Zoom. That's pretty damn cool.
Oh, he's comparing star power? Oh, my goodness. And Mayor Pete. Oh, well, that's an example of your typical white dude.
But here I am. Also, quick observation, they have Kid Rock, Kevin Sorbo, and a dolphin aficionado, and we have the Hulk, Samwise Gamgee, Luke Skywalker, and Mayor Pete, just on this Zoom. That's pretty damn cool. I'm a white dude. That much you can probably tell by now. But I also happen to be a father of two girls. I have a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old. And I'm not sure if you guys can recall that feeling you had on the night of Tuesday, November 8th, 2016.
Yeah. Oh, no, yes, the night of November 8th, 2016. He says, I don't remember if you know how you felt that night. I know how I felt. Damn good. That's when Donald Trump won his first election against Hillary Rodham Clinton. Now, Josh Gad is going to tell us how he felt that night.
I'm not sure if you guys can recall that feeling you had on the night of Tuesday, November 8th, 2016. I stood over my kid's bed, and I wept.
Oh, my goodness. Now, I cried when Trump got shot. I cried when he walked out at the convention, okay? But he stood over his child's bed and cried when Trump won. I may cry when Trump won this time out of happiness. I don't know.
On the night of Tuesday, November 8th, 2016. I stood over my kid's bed, and I wept. I wept because I felt like I let them down. I wept because they had the chance, and we had the chance, to have a female president for the first time in our lives and in the history of this nation. And instead, we put a man in office who not only disdains women, but whose own wife can't look him in the eye.
Really, what does he base that on? We just heard President Trump talk last night how Melania was watching live on television when Donald Trump was shot.
Daughters seem to want nothing to associate him, to be associated with him.
What planet is Josh Gad on? I think he spent too much time in Arendelle and his brain is frozen.
And
okay, so Josh Gad, so he's part of the white dudes for Kamala, letting you know that it's okay to be white and vote for someone who's not. You know, Josh Gad, because I know a little bit about Josh Gad, you know, being a stunt double and all, but no, I because I looked him up during the break. And I knew he was from Hollywood and went to Nova University in Davie. But this I did not know. Okay? His mother was born in Germany to a Jewish family of Holocaust survivors, and they say in his bio was raised Jewish. So his grandparents are Holocaust survivors, and here he is supporting a woman who's in bed with Hamas. Kamala Harris. You know, I talk about this a lot. There's been 60 years of discussions, books, college lectures, and documentaries asking one simple question. How did the Holocaust happen? Because of people like Josh Gad. Jews who said nothing. Jews who appeased Chancellor Hitler and the Nazis. Jews that appease Hamas and Tlaib and the rest. This is how the Holocaust happened, people. Josh Gad, white dudes for Kamala. If you're on hold, stand by. 1 hour down, 2 to go. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. I will go over to the polls again in the next hour, and we'll continue with White Dudes for Kamala. We'll be right back.
WSFS 104.3 HD.
I keep saying White Dudes for Trump. I don't know why.
So I want to talk a little bit about business. I've mostly done.
My name is Michael Marone from the All Your Cooling Weather Center. Today
And one
is
is that
Tuesday,
the reason that I.
Right now it's 77 degrees outside. It's going to reach as high as 89 degrees throughout the day. The cloudy skies in our forecast. There are some chances of rain, so make sure you keep an umbrella close by, stay dry, and have a good rest of your Tuesday morning.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. The All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check.
Really?
By the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Delay-free and crash-free on 95 from the Turnpike north and south through Jupiter, Palm Beach, West Palm, and Lake Worth. A crash in Palm Beach, 441 at Loxahatchee Road, and construction in Palm Beach Gardens on the Beeline Highway from West Blue Heron Boulevard to North Lake Boulevard. This traffic update is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Palm Beach Kennel Club offers exciting OTV action from top horse tracks around the country, including Saratoga Racetrack, now through September 1st. Visit our incredible paddock restaurant with over 140 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. And check out the upcoming dinner shows, including Rat Pack Now, August 23rd, the Pure Zeppelin Experience, October 11th, Let It Be, November 8th, and more. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Hi, it's Brian Craig. Let me ask you this. Are you planning on retiring in the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, at any point in your life? Or are you already retired? Listen, economically, it's a mess with the stock market ups and downs and inflation out of control. In fact, it's the highest inflation rate in 40 years. You need a plan of action for your retirement plans. You need the advice of a retirement expert who can help you protect your money, guarantee your income, and stop losing money. Joe Thomas is president of Retirement Network Advisors, South Florida's premier retirement experts, and has been for over 2 years. He's seen it all and is a true professional that you can trust. They're family owned and operated. His daughter Jenny works with him. You know
If you're on hold, hang in there.
here on True Oldies. He's the host of the Jupiter Joe Money Show, and he's been doing that for over a decade. You need Jupiter Joe's book, The Retirement Know-It-All. Mention my name, Brian Craig, and receive a free copy of his ebook. Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. Take advantage of his free phone consultation.
Here we go.
Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999. When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor could order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, coming up on 5 minutes after the hour, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig, it's the Steve Kane Show. I opened the show with what I'm going to do now, and I said today when I started the show, I'm going to do something that I would not normally do, and I'm going to start each hour doing the same thing every hour of the show today, because what I'm going to do is go over all of the polls at the top of every hour. And I really hate to do this. Like, I got a good momentum going with the white dudes for Trump, you know. Or I keep saying white dudes for Trump. I'm a white dude for Trump, so I guess that's why. White dudes for Kamala, you know. And I'm even interrupting that because I haven't even begun, okay, with that story. But I was really disgusted at what I was seeing on Fox News yesterday. I left Fox News a long time ago. I went back after President Trump was shot, and they had great coverage, and they were doing a great job all the way through the Republican convention. So I kept them on, and then they started having liberal jerks on nonstop, and now they're promoting these fake polls talking about this Kamala Harris surge. So I went to the polls myself and found out that the Kamala surge is not real. They're lying to you. I'm going to tell you where I'm getting my information, okay? RealClearPolitics.com. I'm going to go over at the top of every hour all of the national polls, the battleground state polls, and then the Electoral College vote count. Real Clear Politics has all of the polls. And the reason I'm doing this is because this lying, this journalistic malpractice that's going on in the fake news media, I do think is having an effect of discouraging some of our MAGA people and thinking we're in trouble when we are not. Okay? So no matter what we're doing today, I'm going to open up the top of the hour and do this. We got this hour and next hour. I started the first hour with it. Even though I'm in the middle of something, not even in the middle, I'm in the beginning. I'm in the middle of the beginning of what I was doing with white dudes for Kamala. Okay, so you can, and I'm throwing this out to you guys. Go to Real Clear Politics, look at this information yourself, and if I am misrepresenting, you call me on the air and you call me out on the carpet. Our calls are screenless, and we'll go over it together. 1-888-465-2631. Real Clear Politics has all the polls. Okay. There are 15 national polls. 15. President Trump is leading in 12 of the 15 national polls. Kamala is leading in 3, barely, within the margin of error. The Wall Street Journal poll, the Forbes-Harris poll, the New York Times-Siena poll, Rasmussen, Morning Consult, CNN, Reuters, NPR, PBS, Quinnipiac, Yahoo News, CBS News, Fox News, NBC News, Emerson, and the ABC News Washington Post. These are national polls. Now, I'm here to tell you that the national polls, you might as well go to Canada and do a poll between Kamala and Trump in Canada if you're going to go by a national poll, because our country, we have the Electoral College system. It's not a popular vote, okay? The national polls include the big left-wing urban centers in the state of New York, California, and places like that. But President Trump, now these are up to date as of this morning. President Trump is leading in 12 of the 15 national polls. So now let's go to the battleground polls. There were 7 battleground states: Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. There were 7 battleground states. That is where the election will be decided. The rest of the country, Florida is MAGA. It's going to go Trump. California is blue. It's going to go Kamala. The 7 battleground states are, notice Ohio is no longer a battleground state. The battleground states will decide this. Arizona. Now, some states have more polls than others. Okay? Arizona has 3 polls. Trump is ahead in all of them with a 6.4 lead over Kamala Harris in the Real Clear Politics average. Nevada, battleground state number 2. There is 1 poll taken since Kamala jumped into the race. It is 50-40 Trump with a 10-point lead in Nevada. Trump has a 10-point lead in Nevada. Battleground state number 3 is Wisconsin. Hold on, I lost my place. Where am I? Wisconsin. Okay, there are 4 polls in Wisconsin. Out of the 4 polls, Trump leads in 3 of the 4 polls. There's a tie in 1 poll. Trump leads in Wisconsin. Michigan. There are 3 polls in Michigan. Trump leads in 2 of the 3 polls. There's a tie in 1. That's the Fox News poll. That was where the tie was in the last one. Trump is leading in Michigan. Pennsylvania. There are 6 polls in Pennsylvania. Trump leads in 5 of the 6 polls in Pennsylvania. There's a tie in 1, which is a Fox News poll, has ties in all these, I guess. Trump leads in 5 of the 6 polls in Pennsylvania. Now, again, these are all Trump-Harris, recent, up-to-date. This is not Biden. And in the 6th poll, they're tied. Trump is leading in Pennsylvania by 3. The 6th toss-up battleground state is North Carolina. There's only 1 poll out of North Carolina. Trump leads by 9. Georgia, there are 4 polls in Georgia. Trump leads in all of them with a Real Clear Politics average in Georgia. Trump is 4.5 points ahead. He's ahead in 12 of the 15 national polls. This is post-Kamala. He's ahead in every single battleground state. And Real Clear Politics has averaged in all the polls for an electoral vote count if the election were held today by the current polling data. Remember, you need 270 to win. And Trump wins by today's polls, if the election were held today, 312 electoral votes to Kamala's 226. That's it. So this whole idea of a Kamala surge is a myth, a lie, propaganda, brainwashing, whatever you want to call it. And I am telling you, I'll tell you how to find it, okay? Because I want one of our liberals to challenge me. I want all of you to check it. Go to realclearpolitics.com. They list all the polls. In the top menu bar, it's in black, it says Election 2024, and scroll down to where it says Trump versus Harris. And click that on, and you'll see all the information I shared. If these polls were not showing what they're showing, I would still share it with you, and I'd be very disappointed, and we would be talking about mobilizing even more. But we are going to mobilize. We are going to swamp them. We're going to have the biggest Republican MAGA turnout ever on Election Day. But that's not what the polls are representing. The media are lying to you. Okay? And that's why I'm doing this at the top of every hour today. It's got to be done. It's got to be said. No one else in the media is doing this. So I'm sorry. I don't like to be repetitive. I don't like to use the same story throughout the show like this at the top of every hour. But I know a lot of MAGA people are getting this news and they're starting to get worried. Because the Kamala surge does not exist. I want to hear your thoughts on everything I brought up so far today. My name's Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. You know, Jupiter Joe Thomas, for over 30 years, has been in the retirement planning industry. He's a 5-time qualifying member of the $1 Million Roundtable, which is achieved by less than 1% of all financial advisors in the world. So he's a top guy, and he's offering you not just a free copy of his book, which you can get when you call, but he's offering free phone consultations. And you can take advantage of that free phone consultation no matter where you are located in America. Talk to him about annuities and how you can protect your money from stock market losses. Stop losing your hard-earned money and generate income when you retire. Talk to him about rolling over your 401k or IRA into a Roth, to an annuity. Save money on your taxes. Get better rates on your savings. Here's his number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. And if you missed that number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. We'll be right back.
Professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station monitoring, our top-of-the-line systems are designed to detect intruders and alert authorities and give you real-time updates right to your smartphone. And with our state-of-the-art monitoring center, you'll have 24/7 protection from any threat. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and family and your valuables with Sloman's comprehensive home security solutions. Call 1-833-283-5050 today to schedule your free installation and start sleeping better tonight. Sloman's, protecting what matters most. Call 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050 now. At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
The Greater South Florida Chamber of Commerce Senior Lifestyle Expo and Health Fair is coming up Wednesday, July 31st at Discovery Village at Stewart. Dozens of vendors will be on hand with plenty of fun, food, and giveaways. The True Oldies channel will be on site from 11 to 1 with your chance to win a free cruise aboard Margaritaville at Sea. We'll see you Wednesday, July 31st at the Greater South Florida Chamber of Commerce Senior Lifestyle Expo and Health Fair at Discovery Village at Stewart, 2625 Southeast Cove Road in Stewart. Learn more, GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
Attention seniors, are you not happy with your current Medicare plan? If not, give Debbie at I Will Advisors a call. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. There are 5-star rated plans that you can enroll in the middle of the year. That's right, you don't have to wait for open enrollment. Debbie and her family have been taking care of Steve Kane Show listeners since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, IWillAdvisors.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world.
All right, welcome back. Calls on hold standby. 1-888-465-2631. Just to restate, Trump is ahead in 12 of the 15 national polls, which gives him the lead nationally. This is on Real Clear Politics. Trump is ahead in 12 of the 15 national polls. Right now, up to date, Trump versus Harris. No Biden in the mix. He's leading in every single battleground state. And the Real Clear Politics average has given him over 300 electoral college votes. Even if she picks that governor from Pennsylvania and he's as popular as they say, and Kamala takes Pennsylvania, Trump still wins. The Kamala surge is a lie. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Ben from Pompano.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, so I wanted to point something out and tie it into what you've been saying. Matt Walsh said this on X the other day, or yesterday, where the Kamala Harris campaign is a purely online and media-existent phenomenon. So they have just been pushing her by pure brute force and injection of like tons and tons of money through, all the social media and, these white dudes for Kamala and everything. But when she goes and has a rally in deep blue Philadelphia, she can only pull out 500 people.
That, by the way, that rally she did yesterday was in a gym at a high school again, and they curtained off about half of the gym and pushed everyone close in together to make it look full. She couldn't fill a high school gym. You know what you said's right. Don't lose your thought. It's like when the Allies were trying to fool the Germans about the Normandy invasion. They had Patton pretend like he was putting together this army somewhere, and it was all the tanks were blowing up balloons and stuff. Remember, that's what they're doing. This is a fake campaign. There is no. If there was a Kamala surge, I would be telling you guys. I would tell you because I wouldn't want you to be overconfident.
So this is next generational election warfare by the Democrats. What you're seeing with Kamala is a complete mirage, and a lot of these are like a million women for Zoom calls. It was full of bots, and what you're seeing is she is not. There's no way that this woman went from the most unpopular vice president in history, less popular than Joe. The media was worried about her because she was so unpopular, so they hid her away. To the very next day, she is now the greatest thing since she's second coming of Jesus, and she's the future. She has Barack Obama energy. All of this is a pure fabrication by media, social media.
Yeah, but Fox News is a party to this.
Of course they are. That's why we all stopped watching them. I stopped watching them when they called Arizona.
Yeah.
And Neil Cavuto, all these people. I don't even take them seriously. To me, they're no different than MSNBC. They're part of the same. They're the same coin, two sides of the same coin.
Going over the same thing at the top of every hour on his show. I do not like doing the same thing but I feel a duty to do it because this is being covered up. A lot of our and I'm sorry to be repetitive about it, guys. I don't want to be like Hannity who repeats the same thing because he thinks the audience is. This is Morning Drive. Not everybody listens to all 3 hours. People are in and out. And I want to make sure that everybody that listens to this show hears the truth about these polls. That's why I'm doing it.
Exactly. And you need to, because They are pushing. They know what they're up against. They know how popular Trump is. They are pushing a massive AstroTurf campaign. There's so much dark money, so many NGOs, so many social media influencers that have been paid off. I just walked out of this shop where I pick up material in the morning, and I just saw a few seconds of NBC in the morning because they have this TV where they play it. It was so propagandistic. They were talking first. They do all the major. First, they talked about how anti-choice Republicans are. Then they moved on to how J.D. Vance is weird, which is another memo that went out to all the talking heads of the Democratic Party that they were.
You know, this thing here, I've been hearing this for 2 days now. J.D. Vance is weird. What about him do they say is weird?
So I don't know. I think what they did is they did a focus group. They found out what words would stick and have the most negative impact, and then like fire, like a wildfire, it just spreads throughout. Memos go out. They are on these email lists.
Yes.
Memos where they tell people to say these certain words, like, remember, Biden is sharp, safe and effective, most secure election ever.
Cheap fake.
Fake, right, and they all say it at once. And it's not a coincidence. They get these emails, on these email lists where they're told after these focus groups what works, what doesn't, to say the same things over and over. It was when Biden, before the debate, they all said the same two phrases. He's sharp and at the top of his game.
Well, President Trump, in his interview with Laura Ingraham last night on Fox, which was very good, one thing he pointed out, I'll talk about the Melania thing later, but I did not realize that Kamala Harris is 2 years away from Social Security retirement age. She's 60 years old, and they're also presenting her as, J.D. Vance is 39. He's young. They're presenting her like she's a millennial. She's an old lady who's 2 years away from Social Security retirement age. And I didn't realize she was that old. I don't think anybody does, really.
It's a shameless pander to Gen Z. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And they want to get the TikTok influencers because they have so many followers. So this is what I'm talking about. This operation that we're seeing is one of the greatest AstroTurf operations in our lifetime because of the scale and because it happened overnight. And so it's just.
Well, I got to tell you, I feel like a man alone here because there's a lot of other good conservative people out there. I'm not the only one. But I haven't heard anyone go through the polls like I've been doing today. And this media campaign that they're doing, a lot of millions of MAGA people think that there's a Kamala surge. There's energy in the campaign. The opposite is true, and the polls reflect that.
That's why and they know that too. They know that we cannot compete with Trump's energy. If Biden doesn't have energy, how the heck is Kamala Harris, the most unpopular candidate in the 2020 primaries, how does she have enthusiasm and energy? It has to create this mirage. And it should be a lesson to us. We all thought when we see dictatorial regimes, how do they do the propaganda? How does it work on people? Seeing it in real time. And it's just, we really got to stay vigilant. And we can't act like, when Joe Biden was running, we were all hooting, hollering, celebrating, and high-fiving. We thought it was going to be a slam dunk. Maybe this will teach us.
This is too, because Trump is ahead in 12 of the 15 national polls. He's leading in every battleground state. So that is with 2 weeks almost of nonstop celebration of this 60-year-old lady 2 years away from Social Security retirement age, Kamala, and he's still whipping. I guess you can't say that because she's a BIPOC individual. They'll say it hinders back to the plantations. He's still winning in the polls against her. And you would think, watching the media, that Trump was losing or maybe tied, and nothing could be further from the truth.
I know, and there's still a lifetime away between now and the election, and we gotta keep hammering it.
All right, take care. Appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll take our break and be right back.
Making morning.
Today is Tuesday, July 30th, 2024, and right now it's 77 degrees outside. It's going to reach as high as 89 degrees throughout the day, with cloudy skies in our forecast. There are some chances of rain, so make sure you keep an umbrella close by, stay dry, and have a good rest of your Tuesday morning.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long.
Oh yeah, the Supreme Court. Yeah.
Now they're kicking him out. Now he wants to.
Yeah.
It just cracked me up. He's trying to get revenge on.
Mm-hmm.
Ironic.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the Poker Room at PBKC, open daily for cash games, high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and exciting tournaments like the $100,000 guaranteed Monster Multi-Flight Tournament, August 8th through 11th. Visit our newly expanded table game area with Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker, just a $5 minimum. PBKC is your entertainment destination. Go to ppkennelclub.com.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, has rid me of pain from a knee injury and arthritis pain with his laser away pain treatment. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Appleton helped him with his laser away pain treatment.
You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sean, calling from Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in there last week. I had a knee problem. At one session, I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. And for people out there that are dealing with pain, believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation. FREE free. You will lose. The only thing you'll lose is the pain that you're dealing with. Do not suffer. Go in there to see Dr. Appleton, the greatest visit of your life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonChiro.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary. And walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710.
And now, a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. Back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation. Insulation removal, wrap roofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500.
We'll be back shortly, guys.
2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500. Just call 954-939-1500 and talk to Laura Scott. That's 954-939-1500. CutMyKilowatts.com. Estimates given on the
Wow.
work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We're so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family started their first health
William, $5 super chat. Thank you. Kamala has hired President Obama to help with her slogans. Yeah. Thank you, William, for that super chat.
minerals, herbs, homeopathics, diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic.
Make sure you subscribe, guys, if you're new. And if you're already subbed, please like the video. Liking the video helps so much.
They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PG Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377. That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. I am pleased to say our
family. We have installed all kinds of roofs from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. So come on and let our family take care of your family.
Hey, and all the members, I made a I did a member live stream right before I went on the air. You guys can check that out if you're a member. Coming back. All right, Carlos on hold, stand by. If you're just tuning in, you have missed a lot, but I'm just going to go straight to the phones. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the air.
Oh, hi. This is Joan from Tampa Bay.
Hey, Joan.
Why would people vote for an invasion of our borders, which is going to kill Social Security and Social Security disability, and they never paid in? It'll also kill Medicare and Medicaid. How about interest rates to buy?
Oh, you left something out. It's not just going to kill Social Security. It kills American people like Lincoln Riley, who was raped and murdered by one of the illegals that the border czar, Kamala Harris, brought into the country. So it kills people, too, American people.
That's the invasion, but then interest rate. They're now over 6% when they were 1.5 to 2. How about energy costs, okay, which brought up the cost of our food because you have to transport our food.
Well, Kamala should be very concerned finding out from President Trump that she's a senior citizen who's 2 years away from Social Security retirement age, Kamala Harris. She should be concerned with the future. I know she's trying to pass herself off as a millennial, like she's AOC, but she should be very concerned about Social Security, I guess, and she's about to be able to collect it.
And they want to raise taxes by like 20%?
Well, the reality is not that many people support the Democrats. That's what the theme of the show's been today, that what they're telling you in the mainstream media are lies. There has not been a Kamala Harris surge. It's a lie. So not very many people are supporting that lunacy.
No, but this is what they're running on, hon. Higher taxes.
And they're being rejected.
And you know what? I have skin in the game. My son is a sniper. He's also air assault. He jumps out of planes and he goes down helicopters and whatever. And how about just you go to the grocery store, ground sirloin, you're paying $8 a pound. $dollars and something.
You're still buying the ground sirloin? You haven't gotten to the ground chuck yet?
No, I usually buy the ground chuck.
Yeah. I mean, who's buying ground sirloin today? My goodness, bacon is now is like Kobe beef.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, this is what these people are voting for.
Yes.
Do they have a brain in their head?
No. All right, I appreciate the call. Good points. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Roz. How you doing?
Hey, Roz.
I want to know who the stupid people are who are spreading this lie about her, because she was rated lower than Biden in the polls, and she is dumb like a box of rocks. And, you know, this stuff about her being popular, these guys liking her, she's not even that pretty.
And she's an old lady. She's 2 years away from Social Security retirement age. When President Trump said that last night to Laura Ingraham, I'm like, yeah, she is. I didn't realize, because I don't know. You know the girdles have got to be killing her. She's wearing some tight girdles. Got to be.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. She got her way by sleeping through the ranks.
Well, I don't think she did much sleeping.
Well, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but she didn't do it on merit or because she's smart and she knows what she's doing. And, you know, just a few other things. I'd love to see her go against Trump in a debate.
They will.
Smash her.
They will. They'll go into a debate. This whole idea that he's afraid. Here this guy got shot He got up on the stage after he got shot and wouldn't let them take him away until he spoke to the people. He's been doing rallies since he was shot. He did a rally a week after he was, and now he's going back to Butler, Pennsylvania, and standing on the stage where he got shot on. But he's afraid of this 5'2", 60-year-old senior citizen, Kamala Harris. Are you kidding me? That's insane. That's a joke.
No, he's not afraid. They're the cowards, not him. Because if he were afraid, he wouldn't have got back out there. And when he got shot, he got right back up, put his fist up, and said, "Fight."
And said, and he didn't want to walk out barefoot in his socks. He wanted to look presidential. So they got his shoes. He walked into the hospital emergency room on his own, like when Hinckley shot Reagan, but he's afraid of this senior citizen, Kamala Harris? Come on.
After he got shot, he stood up, and he had no covering because those women were so short.
Do you know now there's new video out that the building where the shooter was on the roof of was surrounded by police officers with their guns out more than a minute before the shots were fired, and in the video you can hear Trump on the stage speaking. The building was surrounded, and Trump was still on stage speaking. This is insane what's going on.
Two things really quick. I think this was planned by the Democrats. This was a setup.
Yeah.
Christopher Reagan.
Listen, everyone in America believes that there was a deep state conspiracy to shoot Trump. Everybody believes that. Everyone believes that. No, I haven't heard anybody challenge that.
One more thing before I go. Guess who's on the cover of Vogue this week?
Willie Brown's girlfriend?
No. Jill Biden.
Again? Wasn't she just on Vogue? Oh, that was New York. That was another on Vogue?
Right, yeah. And I was watching Kelly talking to, what's his name, Pierce Morgan.
Uh-huh.
And she was saying that how could a woman see her loved one, husband, sick as he was, pushing him? And she said she's the one that wants the power.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let Melania Trump on the cover of Vogue, and she was in an interview, and she said that was okay. It didn't bother her.
I mean, here Melania is literally an international supermodel. They didn't have her on the cover of anything, and they've got Jill Biden, who can't even walk in heels, on the cover of everything.
Oh, I saw the cover. It looks ridiculous.
Well, she looks ridiculous.
Melania Trump is one of the most beautiful women that I've seen in the world. And I'm not saying that to be funny, because I'm not. I'm straight. Is a very beautiful woman. And the way she carries herself, I love it. When she goes to the rallies and she prays the Our Father, and then Trump speaks. But she's a lady who carries herself with style, elegance, and grace.
And she speaks 5 languages. Is that amazing?
Let me tell you something. She beats Jill Biden and Kamala Harris both together, plus probably a bunch of other people.
That's right. All right, Roz, I appreciate the call. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, goodness. Renee from Harlem.
Yes? Am I supposed to? I got a BIPOC individual on the phone, and I've been told by the white women for Kamala that I'm not to interrupt or God forbid, correct a BIPOC person. Oh, my goodness. Go ahead, Renee.
Whatever. Anyway, I just want to give the audience advice on what Kamala can do to make sure that she seals the election.
Mm.
One, to expand Social Security.
Yeah. What does that mean? To who? To who? Expand it to who?
To everyone who receives it.
Well, what do you mean? Who do you want it expanded to? You mean you want it increased People get more money a month? Oh, I agree with that. Absolutely. They don't get enough money. Absolutely.
Trying to do that, and I think the Democrats were scared of it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a good idea. Well, I'll agree. People do not get enough. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. That's a good idea.
The idea is going to be a lot tougher, but she will definitely gain.
Was that outlaw white people?
No, well, that would help. No, it would be to put Israel in check and to stop them from genociding the Palestinians.
Genociding? The Palestinians are not a race of people that you can genocide. That no. Maybe the Palestinians should stop invading Israel and raping and murdering Israeli women.
Israel. Oh wow.
And raping and murdering women. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You think about that. Real.
Did they rape and murder women?
You know,
they didn't rape and murder women at the music festival?
No, they did not.
What do you call it?
No, they did not.
What do you call it?
Making stuff up.
Really?
That they lied, and you're still potentially.
Who? So no one was raped or killed by the Hamas terrorist in Israel at the music festival?
Oh, they were killed.
Oh, was that okay? Was that okay?
There's no rape going on. That people do.
Was that okay? What about them? Will you condemn the murders? Will you condemn the murders?
Huh?
Huh? What? Yeah. Oh, okay. No, he doesn't condemn. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Because they were Jews. There you go. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Join the True Oldies channel for the Miami Retirement Summit, an exclusive day-long event August 3rd at Trump National in Doral, featuring keynote speaker Dan Marino and top experts answering all of your questions on retirement. There will be nationally recognized speakers on IRAs, tax strategies, investment management, estate planning, and more. The True Oldies channel will be there and is giving away a free cruise aboard the Margaritaville at Sea
And
at the event.
she learned about what happened on that.
MiamiRetirementSummit.com to get your tickets today.
Join us for the Miami Retirement Summit, August 3rd at Trump National in Doral. Lunch is included with ticket price. Go to MiamiRetirementSummit.com.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
It's time to save more and savor more on unforgettable cruise vacations with Margaritaville at Sea. Upgrade your summer plans with free stateroom upgrades. Plus, buy one, get one guest fares on Bahamas and Caribbean cruises through 2025. Grab your best mate and get ready for unforgettable journeys filled with handcrafted cocktails, jaw-dropping entertainment, and deep blue ocean views. Now sailing easy breezy getaways from Palm Beach and Tampa Bay. Your upgraded adventure awaits on board Margaritaville at Sea. Claim your license to chill and this limited time free upgrade offer at margaritavillatSea.com.
Are you living your best life? Are you feeling the way you know you should be? This is John, CFO at Lighthouse Medical Center. Our hormone optimization therapy programs have helped so many people get back to feeling the way they did in their 20s. They're full of energy after a long day, reduced their risk of heart disease, sexual vigor and excitement are great, sleeping the way they should without disturbances, and reducing their symptoms of aging. Our all-natural hormone optimization therapy is precise, easy, and effective from day one. Office visits are usually less than 5 times per year, and the cost is only $150 per month for most patients. Let our medical team get you optimized and living your best life. Our family medical practice has been serving South Florida for over 71 years. Let us show you what personalized medical care and being treated like family feels like. Call us at 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. Or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
30 seconds.
take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now, the Steve Kane Show is
All righty, we're back 49 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. I want to add an addition to the message from Lighthouse Medical Center that I heard during the commercial break. If you or someone you know have neuropathy, you know they're suffering. I mean, that is no way to live, and you don't have to live that way. You know, the symptoms of neuropathy are living torture, numbness, pain, burning, tingling in the hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, dizziness, the feeling of pins and needles in your hands and feet. Some have no feeling at all. Some have all these symptoms in rotation. Some of them have multiple symptoms at the same time. And your doctors will tell you there's no treatment for neuropathy. That is not true. Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano not only have a treatment for neuropathy, they have a treatment that works. It's rid Steve Kane of all his neuropathy symptoms and many people in this audience. They can help you no matter where you're located. They're in Pompano and have been in practice in Pompano for 75 years. You heard me right, 75 years with the same family of physicians. That's amazing. But no matter where you're located in America, they can help you even if you can't make it into the office. Here's their number, 754-222-6642. You don't have to live with all that neuropathy, pain, discomfort, torture any longer. 754-222-6642. Make sure you mention you heard about them on the radio, then you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation. And you can find them online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com. So Josh Gad, in the White Dudes for Kamala Zoom meeting, said that Trump's wife won't even look at him. I mean, where does he get that at? You know? This is President Trump. Great interview last night by Laura Ingraham with President Trump. And, you know, I was watching Right Side Broadcasting when Trump was shot. And I knew exactly what happened. I knew what those sounds were, and it was awful. My wife and I were crying. We looked at each other, and we knew. And we were crying. Weren't you? Now imagine you were watching your spouse get shot live on television. That's what Melania went through. That Democrat donor. She was watching on television when President Trump was shot. This is President Trump telling Laura Ingraham about it. Listen.
What was Melania's reaction, if you don't mind my asking? I know this is very personal, when she learned about what happened on that field in Butler?
She was watching.
Oh, she was watching in real time?
She was watching live. It was all over the place. It was on television. It was on your network. But it was all over the place. And she was watching. I asked her that. I mean, I wasn't there. I was on the ground. And when the world started to, like, you could talk to people, I said, so what was you feeling? And she can't really even talk about it.
Traumatized.
Which is okay, because that means she likes me.
No, she
loves me.
That's good.
I mean, let's say she could talk about it freely. That wouldn't be. I'm not so sure which is better. But she either likes or loves me, and that's nice. But I will say this, look, she was, when I went down, she thought the worst had happened, because I went down. And I grabbed my hand, and I saw my hand was loaded up with blood. You see it in slow motion, instant replay. You know, we had hundreds of press there. So this was covered live. They would have had instant replay and everything else, which they already do in this. But supposing the worst happened, you know, one man, Corey, was killed, hit horribly.
Amazing man.
Horribly in the head. And, you know, he was guarding his family.
That's why how important it is to get to the bottom of why this was allowed to occur. I mean,
we know. Yeah, why, did you say why it was allowed to occur? Yeah, this is amazing. Poor Melania. You know, and, yeah. And, you know, the news coming out of this is amazing. No doubt about it, there was a conspiracy to do this. There was a story that came out last week that they have tracked with the one of the shooter's cell phones was in communication with someone who was pinging it at and around the FBI building in D.C. multiple times. You may have heard this. And, you know, unlike these past conspiracies like President Kennedy, with modern technology, there's literally thousands of photographs and video of everything, because everybody has their phone out recording all the time now. You go to a rally, you go to a concert, you go to any event, nobody watches it with their eyes. They watch it through their phones as they're recording all over the place. And because of that, we are getting high definition 4K, sometimes even 5K, video and photographs from every possible angle of the event. And because of that, new things are coming out each and every day. Yesterday, 2 major things dropped. First, a photograph came out of a police officer outside the rally perimeter in the field on the side of the building where the shooter was, with his weapon drawn. He had his pistol in his hand 5 minutes before the shooting, while Trump was speaking. Just started speaking. He only spoke 6 and how many seconds? 6 minutes and how many seconds? Then a video came out more than a minute before President Trump was shot. The building with the shooter on the roof was surrounded by police officers with guns drawn, and they still didn't get Trump off the stage. What the hell? A few other things have come out too, but those are 2 big things yesterday. And eventually, all we have of Kennedy is that Zapruder film, which you can't even see anything hardly. Eventually, what is going to be put together is an incredible film showing every second from multiple angles in one piece. This is being compiled now, I'm sure. And none of this is happening because of some Trump-hating committee in Congress or Christopher Wray. These are citizen sleuths and MAGA patriots in the Congress that are doing this. Do you know that the biggest political movement in the history of this country is the MAGA movement? The number 1 genre in America online is true crime. So what you have are literally thousands, if not millions, of amateur sleuths that are investigating and compiling and putting videos and photographs together, and almost every day there's a new drop. They didn't count on this when they organized this conspiracy. And I'll tell you another thing, okay, that they didn't factor in here. Well, they didn't factor in that Trump, but the shooter, we know nothing about him. And what happened to the guy in the gray suit that went up on the roof while the body was there, didn't show a badge, didn't show credentials, said he was ATF, and had to send proof of death to someone? Who was that man, and who did he have to show proof to that the shooter was dead, that their patsy was dead? There's so much has come out. All this has come out because of citizen sleuths. Now, I want to tell you guys about Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Incredible deals going on right now. The MyPillow that started it all, just $19.98 with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Remember, you're getting wholesale pricing because Walmart and all these other stores have removed and banished Mike Lindell and MyPillow from their shelves. You're getting the pricing that Walmart was paying. Walmart wholesale pricing on top MyPillow products. The 6-piece towel set, both the kitchen towel set and the bath towel set, just $25 with our promo code Kane at checkout. The MyPillow sheets, I have all these things, just $25 with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. The MyPillow brand new mattress topper as low as $69.98 with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And remember, the premium MyPillow, just $19.98 with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can use our promo code on all the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the ones I highlight. And you can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian,
Yes?
this is B in New York.
Hey, B. What's up?
Well, that video, that recording of Harris, where she's stating that our young people are dumb.
Yes. Yes. They're stupid. They're dumb, yes. Yes.
You need to play that more, because I'm telling you, when I first heard it, I thought, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's her. Yes, that's her base. Did you know that Kamala Harris was a senior citizen 2 years away from Social Security retirement age?
Yes, I've been following you since.
I mean, isn't that amazing? They're presenting her like she's J.D. Vance young, and we find out she's like more like Cocoon young.
You know what? Let me tell you something. Okay. I'm an older woman.
Got 10 seconds.
81.
Oh, happy birthday.
These people are like out in orbit.
Yes.
These days,
All right, we're...
Earth, and they're going to really find out what the real world is all about.
No doubt. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. We'll be back right after our top of the hour break.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and Kareem Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM.
Okay.
Harris signs for President 2020. Man, this ain't right. So, I made a funny video before about me putting Harris signs for President 2024 all around my lawn. Well, my neighborhood is filled with Trump supporters, and I guess they didn't like it. They didn't like the banner hanging off the second story window out of my house. So I actually, look at my eye. I got jumped by a bunch of Trump supporters. It's not right. All I was doing was going to my car. Then I went to my mailbox. Then my neighbors started yelling. So, really mean things. I guess they don't like the fact that Harris is beating Trump in the polls. And that there's no more Sleepy Joe. And that she's going to be the first woman president. And that he is now the oldest running mate, whatever running person. But, it's just a shame. It's just a shame.
That's that guy that faked getting beaten up.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Palm Beach Kennel Club offers exciting OTV action from top horse tracks around the country, including Saratoga Racetrack, now through September 1st. Visit our incredible paddock restaurant with over 140 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. And check out the upcoming dinner shows, including Rat Pack Now, August 23rd, the Pure Zeppelin Experience, October 11th, Let It Be, November 8th, and more. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Good morning, Palm Beach. The wait is over. The much anticipated Skillets restaurants are now open here in Palm Beach County. Serving the hottest breakfast in town at any of their 3 locations: Boca Raton, Delray, and Wellington. Daily baked scones, signature custom skillets, made from scratch, giant pancakes and waffles. I could go on and on. Skillets even offers a summer budget menu and kids eat free on Tuesdays. You can't beat this breakfast. Skillets is proof you don't need to be at home over a made from scratch meal and to be treated like family. Skillets guests rave as Palm Beach's friendliest staff and best breakfast. Come find out for yourself. Get more information on your local Skillets at skilletsrestaurants.com.
Now, guys, I put a link to the Mighty Mega Lion in the top of the chat. There's a link in the video description. Remember, with each Mighty Mega Lion purchased, a portion of each sale is donated to President Trump's campaign. If you order more than one, you get a discount. MightyMagaLion.com. And these are available exclusively through me. This is the only Trump-inspired merchandise with the MAGA cap, and he's cute and cuddly and very well made. We had these custom made. We designed them. And I've been dragging this guy around everywhere I go because I don't want to leave him here at the radio station. Someone might take him. And he looks great. So order yours, MightyMagaLion.com. There's a link pinned to the top of the chat. There's a link in the description of the video. And a portion of each lion sold is donated to the Trump campaign.
New tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires.
Yes.
New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Here we go.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, the third hour has begun. Welcome. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Okay, now I vowed to do something today, and I didn't run this by because we didn't talk before the show, and I kind of made this decision really right before showtime. And you and I were talking last night about the polls, and you watch Fox News and the mainstream media, and they're telling you that the race is tight, that Kamala has gained all this steam, that there's this surge. And I went to the polls, and the opposite is true. And I, at the top of every hour, this is the third hour, so I've done it twice already, I've gone over all the polls, and I wanted to do it again. And the reason I'm doing it, because one is to, because the media is lying to everyone, but I understand, I try not to be offended by this, but not everyone listens to all 3 hours of the program. Maybe you got to get to work. I don't understand that. I mean, we're here for 3 hours, guys. Come on. But I'm sharing it at the top of each hour because I want everybody in the audience to hear them. And also, you guys should take this show, share it on all your social media and your friends. You need to know the truth. And I do think that the media, with this fake Kamala Harris surge, are discouraging some MAGA people out there who think we're in trouble when we're not. And as I've done the last 2 hours, I'm going to do here in the third hour, I'm going to tell you exactly where I'm getting my information. And I'm challenging anyone in this audience, everyone, go. I'm going to tell you where to go. You check what I'm saying. If anything I am about to share is incorrect, call me on the air here with Steve, live on the air. All our calls are screenless. Call me out on the carpet, and we'll go over it together. That sounds like a pretty good deal. I mean, who else would do that? Okay, so my source here is Real Clear Politics, where they have all the polls. Okay, all of them. And you can go to Real Clear Politics. When you go to the website, top menu bar, go to polls, and click on Trump versus Harris. These are polls that are up to date as of this morning, the most recent polls, and all of them are Trump versus Kamala, no Biden in the mix, okay? There are 15 national polls, Steve. 15. That's a lot. And, what I was telling you on the phone last night we were talking, the national polls really gives you they don't matter as much because they factor in California and New York and Washington State and Oregon and all these liberal places, Illinois with the big liberal cities. But still, I want to go, and we'll go over the battlegrounds next, and then the Electoral College, okay? But there were 15 national polls. Trump is leading in 12 of the 15 national polls. That's pretty significant. So the Real Clear Politics average gives Trump the lead. 15 polls, Trump is leading in 12 of them, okay? And the three that Kamala is ahead in are of registered voters, not likely voters, which means they lean left. It also factors in the big states. And she's only ahead by 1 or 2 points, which are within the margin of error, okay? So, and these are all the famous polls. The ABC News, Washington Post poll, Emerson, NBC News, Fox News, CBS News, Yahoo News, Quinnipiac, NPR PBS, Reuters, CNN, the Morning Consult poll, Rasmussen, the New York Times poll, the Forbes poll, and the Wall Street Journal's poll. 15 national polls. Trump leads in 12 of the 15. That's huge. But it's massive. You wouldn't know that by watching the news. Oh, Kamala! She's on his tail! Lies. But where I look at, we're 98 days away from the election, where I look at are the battleground states. There are 7 battleground states. And again, anyone who takes issue with anything I'm sharing, call me out on the carpet right now. 1-888-465-2631. There are 7 battleground states. All the other states are decided. That's why the national polls aren't as important. California's decided. Florida's decided, right? Oregon, Washington State's decided. Illinois. These big states have decided. There's 7 battleground states. Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. These are the 7 battleground states. The battleground toss-up states change election cycle to election cycle. Florida's already decided, right? We're Trump. So the battlegrounds are where these things are decided. Battleground state number 1. There are 3 polls. Now, some states only have 1, some have more, some have less, okay? In Arizona, Trump versus Harris, there are 3 polls. Trump leads in all 3. And the Real Clear Politics average is Trump ahead of Kamala in Arizona by 6.4 points in the latest Real Clear Politics average of all the polls. Battleground state number 2 is Nevada. Okay? Nevada, let me look here. They have there's only 1 poll in Nevada. It's a likely voter poll. Only 1 poll out of Nevada. That is Trump versus Kamala. Trump leads in Nevada by 10 against Kamala. 50-40. So this is amazing. You wouldn't know this watching TV. Battleground state number 3 is Wisconsin. Okay? There are 4 polls in Wisconsin. Trump versus Harris. 4 polls in Wisconsin. Trump versus Harris. Trump is ahead in 3 of the 4 Wisconsin polls. And in the 4th one, they're tied. So Trump is leading in the Real Clear Politics average in Wisconsin. Let's see here. Battleground state number 4 is Michigan. There are 3 polls out of Michigan. Trump versus Harris. Biden is not averaged into any of this. There were 3 polls in Michigan. Trump versus Kamala. Trump leads in 2 of the 3, and in the 3rd, they're tied. Trump ahead in Michigan, Real Clear Politics average. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Battleground state number 5 is Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, there are 6 polls out of Pennsylvania. Trump leads in 5 of the 6 polls in Pennsylvania. And the 6th poll is a tie. The Real Clear Politics average in Pennsylvania, Trump winning by 3 in Pennsylvania. These are all up-to-date battleground state polls. Battleground state number 6 is North Carolina. There's only 1 poll in North Carolina with Trump leading by 9 in North Carolina. The 7th, there's this, and believe me, this is... Now, Georgia is the 7th battleground state. There are 2... I'm making sure not to include polls with Biden, okay? These are all recent polls, Trump versus Harris. There are 4 polls in Georgia that are Trump versus Kamala. Trump is leading in all 4 Georgia polls with a Real Clear Politics average of Trump in the lead by 4.5 points in Georgia. So Trump, in the national polls, there's 15 of them. Trump is ahead in 12 of the 15 national polls. In the battleground states, he's ahead in every state. Then they give us, based on the latest polling data, they give us the Electoral College vote based on the latest polling data, which they update every day. You need 270 to win. And Trump is projected to win by the latest polling data with 312 Electoral College votes. Kamala with 226. Now, they're talking that she may pick the governor of Pennsylvania, who they say is very popular. Pennsylvania has 19 electoral votes. By the way, he's Jewish, So she may lose Michigan if she picks a Jew, because Michigan, apparently the Democrats' base are, Hamas. Yeah, and they don't like you guys, Steve. They don't think, But if she picks the governor of Pennsylvania as her running mate, and let's say he is popular, as they say, and they take Pennsylvania, Trump still wins. It's only 19 electoral college votes. And those are the latest polls. And if anyone in this audience, any Democrat, any white dude for Kamala, or any of you other people out there that support Kamala, if you go to Real Clear Politics, you look at these polls. If I am incorrect or have misstated, I've been saying this since 6. If I have misstated anything, you call me live on the air. And I've been on the air 2 hours and 15 minutes with this challenge going over these numbers, and no one has challenged me, which I will take as confirmation from even Democrats in the audience I'm right.
What I'm hearing from you is that what we're getting is an impression, a false impression actually, that Kamala's doing better than she is.
Yes, they're lying to you. It's propaganda on TV. She's getting creamed. There is no Kamala surge. There's no Kamala surge. It's a lie.
They're getting all the press up to it.
Well, and they're making you think that there's a surge when in fact there is not one. We're going to take our first break of the third hour of the program and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Call the Steve.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
See the back to school and all the retail with the back to school sales and school supplies. So when we're thinking about back to school, we're also thinking about people going to college, going to school there as well. And if you have a child or grandchild, somebody who is either just entering college, going from age 17 to 18, or anybody in the college years about to go off to school, here's my question. Do they have a power of attorney? Do they have a healthcare surrogate? Do they have a living will and a HIPAA authorization? Because what happens is when they cease to be 17 years old and under, then you cannot make decisions for your child once they turn 18 unless you have that signed power of attorney and all the healthcare documents in place. So right now, as we're here in the last days of July, there's still time. If your child is going away, going to college, and they don't have these documents in place, now is the time to get it done, and that is something that we do at the Siegel Law Group. We have a package for college kids that just let us know you want the college package for your child going off to college, and we'll get that set up for you.
I bet parents of college kids have some very frightening experiences because they don't take care of these things.
Chances of something happening where you need to have the authority to make these decisions is, when we're talking about young kids, is minimal, but you never know, and you don't want to be.
Well, you never know. I mean, I hear these things about pledges, and even with sororities and things going on. You never know. You never know when they're away from home and there's alcohol and God knows what else. Listen, it's always a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. All you got to do is mention that you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the program. You can find him online at SiegelLawGroup.com. And remember, no matter where you're located in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help you. The number is toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782. And if you miss the number, you can pick it up off the website, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk later in the week. All right, we'll be right back.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world.
All righty, we're back. You back with us, Steve? Okay, we'll take some of these calls, but I must tell you, guys, If the polls were the other way, I would share them with you because I would want you to know, all right? You know, that if Trump was not ahead, I would share that too because I would want to make sure we would work harder to have the swamp turnout that we want, the swamp into the polls.
And you have a theory that involves...
They hate Trump, Steve. They shot Trump. They've arrested Trump. They convicted him of things he didn't do. And this is just an extension of the Never Trumpers' mission to stop Donald Trump. They're creating this illusion of this surge. And another thing that President Trump, if you have not seen the interview that Laura Ingraham did with President Trump last night, it was an amazing interview. Part 2's tonight, okay? And he shared one thing that I've shared many times on the program today, but I think it's important. Kamala Harris is 2 years away from Social Security retirement age. She's a senior citizen. She's age 60. Okay? And she's 60 years old. She's 2 years away from Social Security retirement age. They're parading her around like she's a millennial, like J.D. Vance, who's 39. She's an old lady. You know, and when Trump said it, I was like, well, you know what? I didn't think about it. I never thought about it before. But we need young people. They got a woman 2 years away from Social Security retirement age. They just have very tight girdles on her. And, black people physically age better than we, white dudes. All right, so let's go to the phones. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Jack from Sarasota. How's it going?
Yeah, we got a bad connection, but we'll try.
I'm so sorry. I'm taking my kids to daycare right now.
Okay.
I agree with you 100%. However, I want us to all use caution. Remember how the Democrats I don't want.
Well, that's why we're gonna have a massive. I gotta let you run because your connection's too bad. You can call back if you get a better connection. I'd love to talk to you, but that we're gonna swamp them in the polls at the polling locations, like Trump says. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name?
From Panama City.
Brian in Panama City. What's on your mind?
All right, so if you don't mind, I do have a couple of time points. First of all, I can't say anything about on, but there's a couple of things that haven't been talked about that I wish that Trump would. One of them is, Warren said this, Kamala said this. They want a pathway to citizenship and everything. Well, I hate to tell everybody this, but my wife came here legally. She came here. We did the paperwork. We paid the money. She's a citizen. She went and got sworn in. So there already is a path to citizenship. So
correct. Like Melania did the same thing, by the way.
Exactly. The other thing that I would say that they really need to focus on about the border. Venezuela just had their election yet.
Mm-hmm.
A presser from, I think it was down in Miami. Jimenez was one of them, and then there was a lady and another guy. I don't know who they were. But they also did a poll of the Venezuelan people, the population down there. And they said if Moderna won again, that the equivalent where are those people going to go? They're going to come here. A vast majority of them are going to come.
Yeah, well, why not? The rest of Venezuela's here, Yeah, no, that's true. I hear you. It's hard for me to focus in on the election in Venezuela. I'm more worried about ours in 98 days, when all these things will be solved. But you do make some good points.
I do have one last thing that I think that would be key if Trump would focus in on it more. The whole thing during the debate when Biden went up there and said that no service members were lost. I'm a disabled vet, and that was a gut punch about those 13 that were lost.
Absolutely.
And I just wish that he would talk more about that and hold their feet to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a win.
Well, and I'll tell you, if you watch his speeches and stuff, he does talk about it. And, and now we find out that when Biden was overseeing that botched withdrawal from Afghanistan, that Kamala Harris was right next to him in the Situation Room every step of the way. So she was a party to it. She was right there.
And one last thing, if you'll give me opportunity, Brian, is this whole thing about, my best friend is African American. I have a hard time with the word African American because if you're born here, then you're an American. Kamala keeps saying that she's black and Indian. Anybody does research on her father was actually Jamaican.
Well, that's black, right? But he was black Jamaican. He was a black guy from Jamaica.
But not African American.
Well, she was born in California. I mean, that's you're splitting hairs on that one. I just think she's a liberal monster who's very dangerous, and she likes to have sex with married men if it'll elevate her in her job. And I think she's a very terrible, bad person. I mean, how many Americans are dead because of the border czarina here erasing our southern border? I saw a story yesterday. A cop got shot by an illegal. The cop, the illegal was set to be deported. A judge kept him in the country. He shot a cop this week, and he was here because of Kamala Harris.
Well, the Dems can't win this time. They just our country is in peril right now.
Well, if you look at the polls, this myth in the media that there's a Kamala surge is just that. Hey, listen, it's good to hear from you. Very good caller.
Thank you, sir.
All right, take care. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Never Trump or Steve here in Palm City. I wanted to go over the polls that you went over from the Real Clear.
Yeah.
Nationwide, and when you look at the average where Trump is ahead by 1.7 points, Harris actually leads in 3 of the polls. Trump is ahead by 1 point in 3 of the polls. Trump is ahead by 2 points in 4 of the polls, and Trump is ahead by...
Okay, so this is interesting. Slow down a second. You're saying what I'm saying. There's 15 national polls. Trump leads in 12 of the 15. I'll recount them. I'm going to recount them. Okay? I'm going to recount them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15. I'm looking at Real Clear Politics. Trump is leading in 15. Out of the 15 national polls, he is leading in 12 of the 15, and Kamala is ahead in 3. You're absolutely, we agree. And no, and the real they don't mean anything now. And the Real Clear Politics, and the Real Clear Politics average has Trump ahead by 4.5 points in Georgia, and he leads in all of the other swing states, which is where the elections are decided. Oh, so he's ahead. Okay. So, no. Slow down. You said I'm correct. So this is never Trump or Steve. You agree that Trump is ahead in the battleground states. You agree that he's ahead in 12 of the 15 national polls. So what are we disagreeing on? Trump's winning.
Disagreeing. I don't care about the polls.
Oh, you don't care about the polls. Okay. She's not new. She's been in office for almost 4 years. The border czarina.
Candidate for 1 week. She's the candidate.
Excuse me, no. It was the Biden-Harris ticket that has been running. So she's not a candidate for a week.
President, they vote for the...
But she's the sitting vice president. Okay. Keep telling yourself, white dude for Kamala.
All right. Let me get your opinion actually on one other thing.
Oh, yes.
Yesterday on Fox, Trump is making excuses not to debate Kamala. That America knows him, they know her, so why do a debate? Here's my question for you: if they're applying for a job, which they are, to be president of the United States, why is it up to a candidate whether they're going to appear.
Okay, I'm going to answer your question. You don't have to ask it again. I'm going to answer your question. Now, first of all, I just want to, before I answer your question, there's nothing Trump can do that you will not say is the wrong thing to do. But so let's get that out of the way. Never Trumper, white dude for Kamala. Because everything he does is wonderful. President Trump, if you watch the interview with Laura Ingraham, he says they'll debate. He has said they'll debate. They'll set a debate after she gets the nomination. He debated Biden before he had the nomination. He creamed her. They replaced him, trying to get a do-over. He's going to wait until she gets the nomination, then set the debate. And then no, excuse me. And then.
I think he has to do it. He doesn't. What he said.
What do you see anything going on under the surface? Because I do.
No, what, Steve? No.
Well, I'm asking, do you see anything going on here under the surface? Why is he saying he wants to wait till she has the nomination?
Well, he didn't wait. He already agreed to it before Biden had the nomination.
Well,
he agreed to it before he had the nomination.
Why do you think he is doing that?
Because he's afraid to debate her.
Afraid?
He's afraid to debate her. He's going to eat her lunch.
He got shot. And he got up and he's going back to...
Universe, a perpetrator. That's why.
Oh, give me a break. What do you think? Hold on, Steve. What are you seeing beneath the surface? Excuse me. A corrupt court.
A jury convicted him. You guys don't believe in...
Not crooked courtrooms. What are you seeing underneath, Steve?
What I see underneath is that I think somewhere down the road they're planning on reversing candidates again.
That's what he doesn't want to be responsible for. If he creams her too early, no. If he debates her before she has the nomination and creams her, they'll plug somebody else in. And he wants to wait until after she has the nomination. He said this.
September. The debate is September, not before. The debate is in December.
But no. But he
making excuses.
Yes.
Let's put this as simply as we can. If you think, and we've both been watching the same contest going on with the same principles, running across the country. If your impression at this point is that Donald Trump is afraid
of anything,
Kamala, you need help, psychiatrist.
He's going out on the same stage that he got shot on and having a rally. He got shot and he stood up.
Yesterday, if he...
Listen, never Trumper Steve here, okay? When you say, excuse me, we're late for break, but I want to say this to you, okay? This Pollywunna cracker talking point that the Democrats have that you're regurgitating, that he's afraid, that doesn't apply to a man who was shot, got up, and wouldn't leave the stage until he spoke to the crowd. And he's going, no, you're irrelevant because you have a stupid talking point. You can't call a man and he goes out on stages even after he was shot, and he's going to go out on the same stage that he got shot on. You can't call someone like that afraid. You lose credibility even with your liberal loon friends. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're going to really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Now, guys, I'm putting the link to Tom Laporta and Laporta Roofing in the chat. I'm going to pin it there to the top. Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing, he did Steve's roof when Steve needed a new roof, and he's replaced the roofs of so many people in this audience. He does incredible work. He's a good MAGA guy, and he'll never sell you a roof you do not need. If you just need a repair, he'll do it. We had one listener who is on an HOA with a big condo building. They had 4 or 5 roofers out tell them that they needed a new roof. Tom Laporta from Laporta Roofing came out and said, you just need a repair. Can you imagine? That's amazing. That's just amazing. That kind of honesty in that kind of industry, because all the others, all they want to do is sell you a roof. Not Tom Laporta. If you need just a simple repair, he'll do it. He works with every type of roofing material there is, and he also works on every type of structure: single-family home, apartment buildings, condos, warehouses, churches, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, churches. He works on every type of structure. And he covers pretty much the whole state of Florida, from Jupiter south to Miami, from Tampa south to Naples, and everywhere in between. Give him a call, and this number rings directly to his cell phone. Don't believe me? Call him. He'll answer. Or you can text him, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaRoofing.com. And I pinned the link to the top of the chat to LaportaRoofing.com. And it's also in the description of the video, LaportaRoofing.com. Give him a call. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the program, all right? I appreciate that.
Caribbean cruises through 2025. Grab your best mate and get ready for unforgettable journeys filled with handcrafted cocktails, jaw-dropping entertainment, and deep blue ocean views. Now sailing easy breezy getaways from Palm Beach and Tampa Bay. Your upgraded adventure awaits on board Margaritaville at Sea. Claim your license to chill and this limited time free upgrade offer at margaritavillatSea.com.
Brian Craig here. Our 6th annual cruise is coming up, and you're all invited. This time, we're sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent, to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. We set sail March 30th. We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together, and much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now, 561-244-5779, 561-244-5779. And online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
Hey, my True Oldies listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. When you're looking for a retirement advisor, you know trust and experience are 2 big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these. Whether you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to JupiterJoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or remember, go to JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West El Rey, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back. And women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you're looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, flown in fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations
Here we go.
or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 40.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. The boards are pretty full. I'm shocked. All of a sudden, polls don't matter. Yeah. Trump's afraid.
I mean, Trump is afraid afraid of nothing.
No.
I mean, I'm more afraid when he goes up and does those things. I fear more for his life than he does. He just is fearless. I don't know what it's about. I can't explain it, but I know it when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely fearless.
I mean, Steve, he's going on the same stage in Pennsylvania that he got shot on in the same location. You know, I mean, that's it. But he's afraid of a 5'2" senior citizen 2 years away from Social Security retirement age, Kamala.
Ahead. What the problem is with guys like
Bad talking point.
his guy's name was Steve, wasn't it?
Yeah, never Trumper Steve.
Never Trumper Steve. We share a name. The problem with never Trumper Steve is it doesn't. What he says doesn't pass the smile test.
Correct.
It just doesn't make sense. You just have to sit back and kind of smile and say, "Oh well, poor Steve is reality."
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, let's see if the audience agrees. And by the way, did you notice Never Trumper Steve said that I was right about all the polls? You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, you're on the air.
Good morning. I'm Dean Broward.
Yes.
Hey, Uncle Steve, good morning. I have this a friend that he says a person is just sometimes ignorant to the fact, but that never Trumper Steve is just stupid. Trump was not in politics. He debated over 16 Republicans to become the president.
And not just any Republicans, top tier members like Jeb and Ted Cruz and Scott Walker and all the big shots, and he took them all out. And of course Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, he has a memory that lasts when he needs it, huh? He doesn't want to acknowledge polls now.
Yeah, that's right. All right, I appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Hi, Steve. How are you today? Hey. You know, once again, we got the mass media trying to create this false scenario, false image that we're in a big horse race here.
Oh, yes.
To win the presidential thing. It's total bull. They rolled her out. She's not doing anything in the polls, especially in the swing states.
Yeah, yesterday she did an event. Was it Philadelphia? High school gym. They curtained off about half of the gym, and they still couldn't fill it up. And I'm not kidding. Yeah.
They couldn't even get 100 people to go to. You know, she just. It's just not working. And even Obama was warning us that you can't sell on the mass stage for a presidential candidate. They just, I tell you who it really affects are the people writing the checks for her.
You know, don't buy that. They transferred money from the Biden campaign fund to hers, and they're calling that fundraising. It's not true. I'm not saying that no one has donated. There have been donations, but not at the level that's being reported. It's like DeSantis did the same thing. He transferred money from his gubernatorial campaign account to his presidential campaign and then said, oh, I've raised more than anybody else. You know, but what this show has shown, well, the last caller, what it's shown is how mindless Democrats are, that to say that a man who got shot 2.5 weeks ago and gets up on the same stage and won't leave. You can go back and listen. The Secret Service says, we've got to leave, sir. We've got to leave, sir. He says, no, get my shoes, and I'm going to talk to the people. And then he leaves, right? And then he's going, and then he does a rally the next week. I mean, to say that he's afraid that's just stupid. That's the dumbest talking point I've ever heard.
Absolutely. You know, what was that book that I think Kennedy wrote, Profiles in Courage?
Yes.
We're seeing that in real time with President Trump.
Yep.
He is just a profile.
Absolutely. All right, appreciate the call. We're behind on our schedule. Hey, Steve, do you know what the most dangerous thing you can do in your home is? The most dangerous thing. Think about it. I'll give you a hint. Okay? This is a clever introduction to a spot. Okay, so I'll tell you. Okay. And this is true, the most dangerous thing you can do in your home is open up the front door without knowing who is really there. That's how home invasions happen. You can get killed, you can be raped, you can be robbed. The free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's is back, and only for a limited time. Listen to this. This is a limited time offer for a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. By the way, I have this camera, okay? And it's amazing. And it's a security measure, but it's also convenient, right? I don't have to get up, Steve, to know who's at the door. I can see, you know what I mean? If I want to answer it, I get up. If I don't, let them knock, you know what I mean? But that's it. But it connects directly to your phone, and even when we're on our cruises, I'm looking on my phone, and I can see when I get a notification when there's movement or even on our shore excursions, I'll get a notification. There's someone that might come into my door, and I know even when I'm out of the country. Sloman's, they're also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. They're going to give you an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, you'll get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. Give them a call. No matter where you're located, give them a call. Toll free, 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking on this Tuesday?
The metal's pretty stable. Quiet trading and sideways action we've seen for the last couple of days, with gold trading in a range yesterday of $2,368 all the way up to $2,403, and closing out the day down $2.40 at $2,383.70 the ounce. Silver was down 7 cents at $27.83. Platinum was up $11 at $949, and palladium was up $4 at $890. Overnight, we saw similar action. Gold trading in a range of $23.76 up to $23.93, and right now we're at $2,386.50 the ounce. That's up $2.80. Silver's up 2 cents at $27.85 the ounce. Platinum up $4 at $9.53. And palladium down $8 at $882.
Wow. So everything's looking good. Everything's priced to buy. In silver, though, William, I mean, there's some really good deals in silver right now, aren't there?
Yep. Backed off about 10% from its highs, and or not quite 10%, but still giving us a good buying opportunity with low premiums on all the different products. So a good time to take advantage of that. And buy some silver.
Yeah, so whatever your favorite silver is, this is like a good time, to really load up, guys. William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. And remember, no matter where you're located, you can do all your transactions over the phone and through the mail. His number, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. You can stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road, right across from the bank lobby. And online, WilliamYoungerman.com, where you can find both his phone number and address. WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, back after this.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on.
All right, there's only one opening on the board where William Youngerman was at. You want to go back to the phones? All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Squirrel from Boca.
Hey.
Hey, guys. Listen, just quickly, back in Venezuela, it's important just to look at it from a global perspective. You can see that Putin didn't respect Biden and Harris, invaded Russia. Hamas doesn't respect Biden-Harris administration, attacks Israel. The Biden administration eased sanctions on Venezuela on promises that Maduro would have fair and free elections. Maduro gave the Biden-Harris administration the middle finger this week and has stolen the election. It just shows that administration.
Well, And with Trump coming back, there's limited time for the world to have their way with it, because a lot of this garbage that's going on will not be tolerated with President Trump back in office.
Affect the polls and the election. I'm seeing on a lot of the social networks, on YouTube, on Twitter, a lot of these heavyweight Latin Hispanic commentators are saying, let's see what the Biden administration will do. Will it? A lot of the Hispanic community here is watching. They will vote accordingly. The Venezuelans that are legal citizens here now.
That's right.
They will vote accordingly, and there are other independent, let's say Hispanics, that are also looking at this, and they will vote accordingly. They see a very weak Biden-Harris administration.
Yeah.
And the global dictators of the world are laughing at us.
Mm-hmm.
Biden-Harris does nothing.
Yeah, no, you could not be more correct. I appreciate your call. You bring up some good points that we have not considered, so thanks so much. All right, take care. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Steve and Brian. JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
Hey, Steve. I was thinking about, Never Trump or Steve, kind of, well, he didn't hit any buttons. There's no buttons that he can hit with me, but just the stupidity of it.
It was sad.
The peddling of that, the narrative that Trump is scared is, it's sort of
insane.
Sasquatch and aliens are having kids, and they're going to school, I think, in Delaware next to his house. I mean, it's just, that he...
That's as credible as saying that Hunter Biden's clean.
Yeah. The peddling, the piddling of our time, and quite frankly, the drip of stupidity is just, it's insane to I don't know how anybody can lower themselves to do that.
Well, when I was young, when I was 19, 20, I was always pissed off and angry all the time. And I felt everybody was always screwing me over. That's when you're young. That's how you are when you're young a lot of times, I guess. Too much testosterone, I don't know. But, when Trump derangement syndrome is hate, and when anger and hate is the worst emotion of all, and it has an effect on the mind like alcohol. It's like you're intoxicated, and when you're consumed with hate, you don't think clearly. And this talking point that a man who was just shot and gets up on the same stage and speaks to the crowd after he's been shot and is covered in blood and he's got Secret Service aides, that's just stupid. And it's just stupid. It's the dumbest talking point the left ever have come up with.
The only thing Trump would be afraid of with regard to Harris would be just understanding the mush of words that come out of her mouth, because it's sort of it's not really, I don't know if you can call it English, but whatever her answers might be to any question, it's sort of like I saw, I think Elon retweeted something that came out of Mr. Reagan, a YouTuber. And,
that was unbelievable. I can't really describe that, but it was beautiful. Yeah, Mr. Reagan's very excited that Elon retweeted him. He's going nuts. Yeah. I would too. I got retweeted by Trump 2 or 3 times, and it was amazing. I must tell you,
You reach. I hope that happens a lot more, Brian. I want to see you. And Steve grow this thing like 10 times plus.
I'm doing my best, man. We're working hard. I mean, I don't. You guys. I do. If you guys don't follow me on YouTube, you guys should. Steve, I did a show on YouTube this morning at 3 a.m. from my house before I came here. Yesterday, I did one at 2:30 in the morning before I came here, and over 20,000 people were watching, and going over the polls. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Okay, take care. Before we go back to the phones, I want to talk about Dr. Appleton. Now, I know some of you have heard me read this letter, but I want to read it again. One of our listeners, Eller, he's the guy who called me. He lives and listens to us in Rochester, New York. He flew to Florida, stayed here for 4 days so he could see Dr. Appleton for his knee pain. And he stayed 4 days because he wanted to have multiple treatments. And he wrote this letter to Dr. Appleton and asked that Dr. Appleton forward it to me. And I've been reading it to you all on the air. This is from Eller in Rochester. Dear Dr. Appleton, I wanted to thank you for giving me my life back. My knees are now painless. I'd like to let you know that after 3 weeks, how I'm doing. Every day I can walk and stand without any pain. Isn't that something? In the evening, I don't suffer like I did before. After I came back home, I had a doctor's appointment. Surprisingly, my blood pressure read 118. Usually, it's 135 to 146. I asked my doctor if the painless knee has something to do with it. He said yes. Not only my pain is gone, but my heart is not working as hard as before. Thank you, Eller from Rochester. And Dr. Appleton can rid you of pain too, just like he did Eller from Rochester, New York. Here's his number. And remember, appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, back to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Barbara in Baltimore. How are you?
Hey, Barbara.
Hey, what a great show. What a great show. The guy, Little Steve or whatever it is, that's a man that's never served a day in the military and he doesn't have any courage. And that's why he said that. Because, and I was there at the doggone thing, and I saw it, and President Trump was unbelievable. And what was even more incredible is that he did a rally. This man, well, I don't want to go off because I really care a lot about him. Pray for him every day because I do believe he's still in danger. But I don't want to go off of that because I'll get emotional. You were talking about that.
No matter what, we can't stand emotion.
No, we want lots of emotion. It's okay to get emotional. What was your other thing though, Barbara?
No, I'm talking about start tearing up because I get real angry about it. No, but your all this stuff coming together. Since I talked to you, I've seen the films of stuff that I didn't take pictures of that I'm connecting to things I actually saw because I'm a volunteer. I volunteered. I got there Friday morning and helped set up that beautiful thing. That was hard work. Unbelievable. He's got an unbelievable crew of people that work and whatever. But anyhow, the people that were standing along the fence, there were people standing, like along the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah. There wasn't any, I bet that whole area wasn't even, they just thought those were just country people coming out with their chairs because they live close by.
Well, now this new video that came out that more than a minute before the shots were fired, the building with the shooter on the roof was surrounded by police officers with guns drawn. You can hear Trump in the background speaking. They didn't take him off stage. I mean, it's insane what's coming out. Nothing. Let me ask you, as somebody who was there, you were there, we spoke, you were behind the president. Is there any doubt in your mind that there was not some deep state conspiracy to shoot President Trump?
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Or these were the most inept, incompetent people possible.
Well,
necessarily, mutually.
Steve, it came out 2 days ago, maybe 3, over the weekend, that the shooter's house, if it was a lone gunman, we know everything about that joker. We know very little, or his family. But, his house was as clean as a surgical center. It's come out. There was no silverware. He probably used the silverware to make the bomb. And his phone was in communication with somebody that was either in or near the FBI building in Washington, D.C. multiple times. So much is it's insane.
Someone who was there, and it is true, there were more DHS agents than I've ever seen before. So those were the Homeland Security people. Those are border people that they have.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did. And so the people who probably would have helped didn't know what to do, and the ones who did know what to do did do.
Well, they got a lot of problems with this. One is there's thousands of people like you with photographs and video in 4K, not Zapruder film that you can't see. And they started blaming the local police, and they're pissed. and they're not taking the blame, and they're talking about what happened.
Yes, and I'm putting it together too with that. They're right, because there were more sheriffs and everything. When I came in early on Friday, I was parked up front. I had parking space for us where we didn't have to walk so far. But it's a far walk, but we didn't have to walk as far.
Well, Barbara, we're almost out of time, so you got 10 seconds. The show's almost over.
I have no doubt that it was an inside job.
And you were there. You were an eyewitness to the attempted assassination of President Trump, and you believe that there was an inside deep state conspiracy. Barbara, thank you for your call. Now, for the rest of you on hold, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. So if you stay on hold, you'll be first in line tomorrow morning, okay? If you don't, you'll have to start at the bottom of the line again, I guess. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, is here. And we'll be back tomorrow morning. And I didn't even get to 1/10 of my show prep today. Not even 1/10. But you should take today's show, guys, share it on your social medias and everything. What I did with the polls today, no one else is reporting that. And if you could share today's show with everyone you know in any way you can, it would be greatly appreciated. See you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar. WIRK.
All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And all of you that watch and support, it's very much appreciated, okay? Make sure you subscribe if you're new. And if everyone who's already subbed could like the video, that'd be great, too. Thanks so much, guys. I got to get out of the way here for the next show. See you later.